What was the best part of Halloween? Be honest. It wasn't the costumes, the haunted houses, or the decorations. It was that perfect moment when you dumped your entire candy haul onto the living room floor. A glorious mountain of chocolate, sugar, and pure chaos. But before you could even take a bite, your parents would say the 6 words every kid dreaded. Hang on, let me check it first. You'd sit there watching as they sorted through your hard-earned loot, turning over candy bars, looking for broken wrappers or pinholes. They whispered about the things they saw on the news: razor blades and apples, poison and pixie sticks, the idea that somewhere out there, a stranger was waiting to hurt kids through candy. Every kid knew that ritual. It became as much a part of Halloween as pumpkin carving and bad monster movies. But what if I told you that the story that terrified our parents, the story that ruined the best part of Halloween, was never really true? What if the panic that changed an entire holiday was built on a lie? The fear didn't come out of nowhere. It began in the late 1960s and early 1970s, a time when crime and distrust were already growing. Then, in 1970, the New York Times published a tiny article that casually suggested a chilling what if. What if a stranger hid razor blades inside apples on Halloween? It wasn't a report. It wasn't based on a single real case. It was pure speculation. But that was all it took. Soon, local police departments began staging photos of apples pierced with needles to raise awareness. Newspapers printed them, and fear spread faster than the facts ever could. Parents everywhere became convinced that Halloween had a hidden enemy, a faceless monster waiting to strike from behind a candy wrapper. Then, in 1974, that fear seemed to come true. 8-year-old Timothy O'Brien died on Halloween night after eating a pixie sticks laced with cyanide. The country went into shock. Headlines screamed about poisoned candy, and the press quickly gave the mysterious killer a name: the Candyman. It was every parent's nightmare come to life. But the truth was far more horrifying. The killer wasn't a stranger. It was Timothy's own father, Ronald Clark O'Brien, an optician, a church deacon, and a man drowning in debt. In the months before Halloween, he secretly took out massive life insurance policies on his children. On that night, he poisoned his son's candy and gave 4 other tainted pixie sticks to other kids, including his own daughter, to make it look like the work of a random madman. Thankfully, none of the other children ate the candy. O'Brien was arrested, convicted, and executed. But by then, the damage was already done. The story took on a life of its own. News outlets ran with the myth, often burying the most important detail: that the killer was family. The narrative that stuck was simple and terrifying. A stranger poisoned a child on Halloween. That one headline sparked a full-blown moral panic. Parents stopped trusting neighbors. Police issued warnings every October. And the O'Brien case became the proof that everyone had been waiting for. By the 1980s, the myth was unstoppable. Homemade treats vanished overnight. Popcorn balls, cookies, and caramel apples, once symbols of community, became suspicious. Hospitals started offering free X-rays for candy bags. Schools and churches replaced trick-or-treating with safe trunk-or-treat events. Halloween had changed forever. But here's the truth. For over 30 years, sociologist Dr. Joel Best has studied what he calls Halloween sadism. And his findings are clear. There has never been a single confirmed case, not one, of a child being seriously injured or killed by a stranger's Halloween candy. Almost every report has turned out to be a hoax, a prank, or a family tragedy misinterpreted as random evil. The myth that haunted an entire generation simply isn't real. So why has it lasted this long? Because it feeds one of our oldest fears. The fear that the world is dangerous and that evil hides in the ordinary. Ronald O'Brien didn't just murder his son. He hijacked an urban legend to cover his tracks. His crime gave a face to a faceless fear, and we've been telling that story ever since. The real danger on Halloween has never been the candy. It's traffic accidents, distracted drivers, and the fear itself. Fear that turned a night of fun into a yearly ritual of suspicion. The poison candy myth is more than a scary story. It's a cautionary tale about how easily panic can spread, how one lie, amplified by tragedy and media hype, can rewrite our traditions and shape our fears. It's a ghost story that never happened, but one that still haunts every October 31st. Mindworks Media, where the past whispers.